Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop. We have been on quite the hiatus with a lot of our YouTube content and Instagram reels, updates, everything. So we have had quite the bit of a fiasco, I guess you would say, with some things at the shop and on our personal lives. Now, my mother actually did pass away just recently, so we've been back and forth from Ohio and have finally kind of, how should I say, come to closure with some things, and now we're kind of back in full swing here at the shop. So we figured this would be a good time to officially get going with the YouTube content and Instagram updates. We are now currently pretty deep with builds and going to get some updates on everything going on.
Very deep.
Very deep on builds right now, which is a good problem. But at the same time, there's been a lot of people trying to get their cars into us, and we've kind of had to put people kind of on the back burner or tell them that they're going to have to wait till next year. So with that, we want to go over each individual thing at the shop that's going on, gives you guys some updates. We have been filming nonstop for the last year. We've got a lot of really cool content that is more or less going to be getting edited and uploaded starting in December. So this December, we are going back to full swing of uploading weekly, whether it be with the content we've already filmed or new content or updating those builds. So the first build we've got right here is actually one of our customers, Jason.
Ultimate sleeper build.
This is definitely the sleeper build that you would never have thought that it was actually making over 400 wheel. Now this car actually originally came to us just for some basic upgrades. Actually ended up getting a full Gen 3 swap. So this motor that is in here is actually set for about 600 plus wheel horsepower. Now, when it originally came in, it was an automatic. Car is back for an F40 conversion.
So as you can see, automatics don't last long.
Yeah, the 5-speed automatics, if you're lucky, 370 Newton meters, 400 Newton meters is, like kind of what I would say is like the safe okay, but they will take about 450, 500 Newton meters if you're lucky. So for those people that are in the United States, 370 foot-pounds is when the 5-speeds start to really kind of take a shit. So as you can see, we've got Sir June. He hasn't been in any of our videos really yet.
He's the best.
But he's our youngest employee here at the shop. He's actually been
we're blessed with a great team.
Yeah, working with myself and Allison a little bit, getting the dash out, getting the pedals. So if you look down here, the pedals are now officially installed.
Shoo, look at that 3-pedal life. Pretty dirty from having to do some firewall customization.
So something that's been kind of cool too with this car is, as you can see under here, we're kind of moving some stuff around, still getting the master cylinder in. This car actually originally came to us for that Gen 3 motor build, and it is actually running our, what you would call our bottom mount big turbo kit that fits more or less for those different applications. It fits those people that are trying to make that 400 brake, making that 400 brake horsepower, or make all the way up to 500 wheel.
Still on.
So this kit more or less does allow you to max out the stock motor. Now we have had some customers that we are making right around 400, 408 wheel.
Just ignore that.
Yeah, this is going to be gone. So more or less this kit is going to be available on the website. We are actually getting ready to get back in the swing of things, actually start pushing the website again. We kind of have put that on the back burner for quite some time as well. But this kit will be available for multiple turbo size options all the way up to a 25G TD05. Now it will come with everything, lines, turbo, intake, portion of the downpipe, everything you need to put it either on your stock motor or for those upgraded applications to make that up to that 500 wheel mark. Now, this is another customer of ours. The car's actually all the way from California. Now, Jason is a local customer. He's from up north, but this is a car actually, Matthew Miller in California. As you can see here, this car is actually sent to us for a full motor rebuild.
And check that out.
And another F40 conversion.
F40 conversion, manual conversion, and
yeah, so it wasn't automatic when it came in. Now, both of these being F40 conversions, the NG93 conversion is pretty straightforward. You actually may have seen our video on YouTube where we converted an NG93 with an F40 conversion. This car, it's a little bit more complicated. As you guys are aware, you do have to locate a diesel box from Europe. Which those are kind of hard to find because essentially someone would have had to have opted for that F40 in those diesel transmissions. So they're really hard to find, but we have been actually sourcing them for quite some time now and have a long list of customers actually lined up to get in for F40 conversions. So something else that's kind of cool with them, he's actually been running one of our 19T turbos for multiple years now.
So 3 or 4 years probably.
Always cool to see a car come in that's been running a turbo for multiple years.
And it's healthy. Took it out, super healthy,
no play, nothing like that. So it's all still within its tolerances. So that turbo actually stayed on. Now the motor has been fully rebuilt. Motor is rebuilt for 600 brake. Yeah,
Upgraded valve
upgraded valve
springs.
springs, everything. So that
It's a 600 horsepower.
ready
build.
ready to rev to 8,000 all day if you wanted to take it to 8,000.
Ready to throw a massive
and
turbo on.
at a later date, he is planning on going to a top mount turbo in the near future. So shout out to Matthew Miller. We've got a couple other random builds in here that
Projects.
projects. But as everyone is aware of,
Everybody
Ryan's
knows this car.
RWB, this
Nightmare
has been
car.
an absolute nightmare. What originally was just going to be us kind of putting the motor in and kind of doing a couple
We were
things.
supposed to put a built motor in.
We fully
that
rebuilt
was
the transmission
provided.
now with an updated LSD. The motor has been torn down twice for various reasons, which you will find out in the RWB video for
Watch
Ryan's
to
build.
find
So
out.
watch to find out what the hell's going on with that. That's been an absolute nightmare. Things that we're just mending and fixing that the
Not
previous
even
shot.
caused by us.
Yeah, then 928, this actually leaves soon. This was just
super low mileage.
Yeah, this was just a super
Transmission
low,
rebuild,
30,000 mile
timing.
928. We rebuilt the transmission, had some synchro issues.
Upgraded the timing tensioner as well.
Timing tensioner has been
A good
upgraded to
upgrade.
the Audi tensioner for anyone out there that's a 928 fan. We also did the timing belt.
Super clean car. It's just been kind of honestly stored here because
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the booger, as everyone knows, it's been kind of a storage piece. So we've got some of the other builds that everything kind of comes to a close. We are actually getting ready to start working on this again, probably January, February. It's now that we're essentially kind of, I would say, what's the right word? Sort of kind of staffed properly. We really need another full-time.
We need more people. We need more people, and we need a bigger building.
We're trying to find a bigger building as well. Something cool with this, though, just a side note, I don't know, just for, gearhead, we are starting to source the power steering racks that are not power steering racks. So this is a manual mechanical for the OG93. So
Sick.
we've kind of started developing a kit to get away from the power
up.
steering racks, just because, at the end of the day, we like building a car that has less components to fail it.
Exactly.
So for the booger, it makes sense. Now, this is actually one of our customers. It's been a local customer for a while. It's actually became a close friend of ours now, too. His name's Vince.
Yeah, we kind of like him.
It's a little dark over the corner. Lights aren't on, so it's kind of hard to see everything over here right now. But this actually originally came to us for a top mount build. We have now actually fully rebuilt the motor again. He actually didn't
Was
opt.
it asparagus?
Yeah, he was racing somebody. We'll just say, long story short, the balance shafts, he did not opt to delete those the very first time. And long story short, spun a bearing shaft.
But part of why we love Vince so much, he literally goes, "At least I won the race."
At least I won the race. Yeah. So the balance shaft,
Lost his
more
motor,
or less,
but won the
spun,
race.
overspun, just because you can't actually. You got to think typically when you have a
spin it twice RPM.
yeah,
as well.
more or less, as Allison just said, the balance shaft spin twice as fast as the other components. So ended up spinning one of those. So now the motor came back in for a full rebuild. We actually slightly upgraded the turbo as well. So it's slightly bigger turbo. And then the most important, it wasn't automatic. We did an F35 swap, F25, F35. He was actually going to have us convert it to an F35 cable, but we kind of were like, hey,
him to do an F40.
At this point, the amount of money you're spending, man, why don't we just go ahead and just go F40? So
that's what happened.
Thus now it has an F40. Now it's kind of hard to see.
Oh.
I'll show.
I was going to open the door.
Well, I was going to show you right here real quick, Allison.
Yes.
So we've been doing, it's kind of dark in here once again. I got the flashlights, but we've been obviously custom motor mounts, things like that. We've been doing a lot of R&D on those as well. Just kind of figure out how we want to do those, making them nicer each revision. So this is between this and Matt's car, I want to say this is.
Oh, we also did the ventilated seats conversion.
Oh yeah,
did
black
the
interior
switches,
as well.
Getting his dash installed for a custom
gauges.
dash insert that he did. Black headliner, which looks amazing. Pretty cool. Been doing a lot of work on this R8 lately.
R8's just been a bunch of stuff that we've got going on. It's not been, it's not necessarily performance related. We upgraded the clutch, but clutch line, things like that. But that's just basic mechanic stuff.
Just good upgrades you should do.
The fab, we are going to be fabricating more and more stuff.
Plasma table, got that going finally.
So plasma table's finally back up and running. So we are actively making parts. Again, we're going to be getting a lot of stuff on the website. Whether it be turbo kits with manifolds.
Oh gosh, we have so many turbos.
Or just different turbo
Brake
kit
kits.
options, brake kits, whatever. We're in the process of kind of getting all that stuff, available for individuals. So we've probably developed now somewhere between, I would say, 6 to 10 different turbo kits that we're kind of trying to decide which ones make the most sense.
Ignore our ceiling. We had to do some customization.
Which customers are going to actually buy those kits. Now, typically, People tend to still want to do a little bit of a budget build, but what we're coming to find out more and more, the people that are starting to build Saabs are people that are just honestly car enthusiasts that just like Saab and have other builds. And it's not uncommon now that we have customers come in that are spending $25,000-$30,000 on their Saab builds. I mean, we're getting closer to that 40-50 customers now that have well over 25,000 in their builds in Saabs in particular. So it's starting to see more and more high-end builds leave our shop. Not maybe so much from the rest of the country, but we are starting to see more and more high-end builds now. Whether it be OG93s, NG93s, we're starting to get some unique things for our personal builds as well. One of these turds that we just picked up. You can check out the video for that soon.
Everybody
we just
knows
picked
how
that
rare
up.
These are sick.
Yeah, they're
Saab's distant cousin, NG93 V6 distant cousin.
Will's car, this car's been done for a while. We're having issues with the idle control valve.
T5 problems.
It's just really dumb. So we actually started breaking it in. We were driving it.
400 miles on it.
Yeah, tuning the motor, getting the tune done. GTX 30, it's actually been converted to a proper 2.3. It's not the 9,000, so the 9,000 stroke and rod ratio is trash. This is actually the same rod ratio. It's in the 9.5. So we're not using the B234 pistons and rods. We're actually using the B235 pistons and rods, but it is still a T7 head and a T5 head and a T5 block. But we are using a B235R rod ratio.
And this thing rips.
That's we're still just
on the highway. You're at what is it? At 75, you're at.
With the final drive. So this is also an
F40
F40 converted car. So we currently right now at the shop have
5 F40 converted cars.
6 technically.
Oh, if you count my car and
so Alice's car technically was an automatic converted it. So we have 6 F40 cars right now. Justin's car is actually over here. This car's been done for quite a while as well.
Broke that in already.
Broken it in. We just got to get the final tune revision done on that. And then we've been kind of messing with a couple sets of custom headlights for his car as well.
We didn't even bring up the dyno.
Well, no, and the dyno, back to this, this is just going to go on the dyno. So we've got the dyno, which some of you may or may not know, we bought a dyno. We did buy a dyno.
In the background.
And it's in the shop in the back, kind of tucked to the side. It's a movable dyno, which is phenomenal. But the problem is we're waiting on parts coming all the way from Australia, and they've been lost at sea for, I don't know, it should have been here over a month ago, and we still have not received them. So we're still kind of waiting to get the final components so we can get the dyno going. So great content for you guys. Planning on doing baseline runs and then showing what the modifications do and what the end result is after multiple revisions, multiple bolt-ons, kind of give you just kind of the best of both worlds, maybe for different turbine options on turbos or kind of like what a stage 1 versus stage 3 is. Generic tuners will say, but kind of give you kind of what a generic power, I guess, plane would look like from certain bolt-ons. Now, Will's car being a OG93 T5 F40, it's kind of honestly, in my opinion, like the better build.
Oh yeah, and it also has
we had a couple
rare
of
Vigan
seats that were kind of worn, but for a good deal, we throw them in. You could always have them reupholstered. Now, RS7 for any of our
a lot of people have been wondering
Audi components. We've removed the motor and the transmission. That is out. This is probably going to be January, February, more like February, March. We have all the manual components. So we're going to go ahead and get the manual swap RS7 build going as well. So we're also rebuilding that motor, and we're going to be doing 2 G25 put exit turbos on that as well.
Yes,
so
and we got this turd.
Alice's turd. Ron actually is over here working on Nick.
Everybody knows this
Nick
car.
Go Fast with the Cannonball car. We've had it multiple times now, so I think this is the 3rd or 4th time we've had it.
Power, baby.
So not going to go into detail necessarily yet, but you'll see. We'll have video on this later. But this was a turbo that's seen the Cannonball abuse. That obviously was one of our turbos that we built. No play. Actually, super rare option that no one else really offers. Other than a 5x5 exhaust turbine. It's just a standard 6x10.
So this turbo has stood the test of everything.
Yeah, so this is one that we built in-house. This is all multiple aggressive runs, more or less 63 hours of just straight abuse. So, but for anyone out there questioning the ability of our turbo building abilities, Nick's car is a perfect example. Yes. Now, moving kind of on to kind of how we want to end this video and just kind of let people know that we're kind of, how should I say, starting to really focus on offering more and more R&D, start offering turbo kits, start offering brake kits. The most important thing is allowing these cars. Everyone's always made power, especially the OG 9.3 world, you know, whether it be T5, 9000s, NG 900s. Those cars are always, we all know the B204 is put into so many cars to make super high power, you know, even like the Astras, the Opals of the world, BMW. A lot of people take the B204 and are dropping it in other cars because it's such a great motor. But the problem is, especially in the Saab world, is the transmission. So with so many F40 conversions going on, we have now started sourcing brand new components,
Pallets
and we're getting
getting
pallets of F40s shipped to us.
brand
So
spanking
we
new.
are going to be essentially offering new and used F40 conversion kits. We have pretty much done R&D on enough cars now that we feel comfortable actually selling bolt-on kits. Now with the F40 kits, we do offer them new or used transmissions. They both come with LSDs installed, and with that, the LSDs are either Quaife or Wave Track. Now we're typically doing Quaife. If requested for a little bit more, we can do a Wave Track as well. Now that is going to be coming with the proper bell housing. That means that it just bolts straight on. Now we are going to be doing two options on two different kits, meaning there's going to be one option that comes with everything you need to bolt on, and then another option which is a partial bolt on with some of the parts you actually are getting yourself. Now we are going to be offering for the 9.5s first, and then in the near future, earlier, I'd say maybe 2-3 months after the 9.5 kit, we will start offering it for the OG 9.3 and the NG 9.3. The only issue with the OG 9.3 and NG 900, I apologize, the NG 900 and the OG 9.3 is the AC line is kind of problematic where it sits. So we do have to actually relocate one of the AC lines, and that's kind of one of those things we're trying to figure out exactly.
9.5 is a quite
Yeah,
simple
9.5 is pretty straightforward, but the OG 9.3, there is a few things that's a little bit more troublesome, and then we do have to make custom axles. So we do make a custom axle that we are actually working on. We've made plenty of custom axles one-offs, but now we're actually manufacturing the proper axle. So essentially, you're not having to take, essentially a used Vigan axle, cutting it down, re-welding together. Now we're actually just CNCing an actual proper axle shaft, so that essentially you're getting more or less a rebuilt new axle versus something that's questionable and used. So as you can see, we are getting multiple pallets delivered to us now. We essentially are sourcing the last few that you can get. Now there are some other options for F40s that some people are starting to utilize out of some of the newer Opals. Those are a little bit more cumbersome and do not necessarily directly, how should I say, bolt on or utilize some of the stock components like the 9.5 half shaft or the Vigan half shaft, things like that. So they're kind of more pain in the butt, but these are straight bolt on and utilize a lot of those OEM parts in some aspects, making the swaps way more, how should I say, easy. So really hope you guys enjoyed this quick just update with everything. And once again, we apologize for the hiatus, but we have not completely forgot about everybody. We 100% have been just absolutely slammed, and with, like I said, some of that personal stuff we had going on with some of my family, really put us behind 2 to 3 months, I'll be honest. So Alice and I both have just been, honestly,
our family is most important.
It's been nonstop. So thank you guys for understanding with all that. And as you can see, we are absolutely just slammed with everything. We are in a great position. We're getting everything caught up by the end of this year, so we can hit the ground running next year. Now we are going to be doing some more content when we're overseas. We're going to be going overseas shortly, getting you some cool content there.
The snail team takes on Japan.
Yeah, so it'll be really cool. So we've got a couple cross-country adventures that Allison and I have gone on. And with that, there's some really cool other cars that you may have not saw in the video today that we have acquired over the last year, which are kind of exciting for you guys, I hope, but also really exciting for us to share with you guys. So once again, thank you all. Here's George, our neighbor.
If you're looking for the best paint guy around.
Best painter in
probably the state of Florida.
Yeah, you, 100%. Yeah, you are. He doesn't know this guy.
He's the best. What are you guys doing? YouTube videos?
Well, on that note, we're going to go ahead and end the video.
Yes.
And thank you guys once again for understanding. Have a great one.
Bye.